Hey gang, how you doing? Well, today I came home and this little box was in my mail. So what's in the mailbox? Well, it is the BotCon exclusive Runamuck. Comes with the nice little detailing card, instructions, and the figure itself. Now, one thing I do find absolutely hysterical is this guy showed up in my mailbox 3 days after this guy was sitting on my doorstep. So let's go ahead and take a look at Runamuck. As you can see, Runamuck is the same mold as Overrun and Wheeljack and TurboTrax. And I have to admit, after getting this guy out of the box, I kind of dig the color scheme on this. The white with the gold stripe going down the sides, the gold spoiler, and the Decepticon symbol on the front just really, really works for me. I don't know what it is about this guy in Overrun that just work for me on a strange level. I really, really like it. Now, if we move him off to the side and put Overrun up here, here we have the Gruesome Twosome of the Decepticon army. Runabout and Runamuck, or Overrun and Runamuck. And like I said in my Overrun review, I really like the look of these guys. In vehicle mode, they look spectacular. Yeah, they're the same, and I don't really care. But just the paint job works for me somehow. Now, my Overrun did not come with directions, but Runamuck does. In fact, here we go. And the directions are not on the typical kind of laminated paper that Transformers directions are on. This is just paper. Plain old paper. It feels like a specialty paper, but it's just paper. So, it does have the flight gimmick, which I did not do with Overrun because, well, I wasn't sure if that was official or not. But apparently it is with Runamuck. So, as I try not to break the figure, we'll go ahead and put him into his flight mode. And all that consists of is opening the back of the vehicle, pulling the doors down, and then flipping everything, or the doors out, and then taking the side pieces and reattaching them as missiles inside. So there we go. Now, it's not a bad flight mode at all. It does look very silly, but it works for the most part. Now, one thing I have noticed with Runamuck is the rub symbol works a lot better than on Overrun. So I could just put my finger here for a few seconds, and then we get the Decepticon symbol. So that is nice. I really am happy that the rub symbol on this guy works. I really haven't been able to get it to work on Overrun all that much. And here we have Runamuck in robot mode. Now, I thought I would save you guys the boredom of watching me transform this mold for the 4th time. So I decided to skip the transformation. Now, I have to admit, I really, really like this guy in robot mode. Worlds better than Overrun. Simply because I could see all the detail on this guy. He's very well detailed, and you miss a lot of that detailing in Overrun, just because he's all black and gray. Now, the coloring of orange and white is pretty good, but the gold really stands out. I really was surprised about that, and I think the figure looks great overall, and the two of them together being the same mold doesn't bother me in the least bit. Now, here we have a close-up of the head, and as you can see, the head does look pretty good, and it is a very G1 accurate head sculpt. Now, what I was talking about in my Overrun review was the Overrun looks like it has lips. Here, not so much. Thankfully, the white actually breaks up the silver of the face and then the white of the mouthpiece that goes over what is essentially the mouth. And it makes a much better definition here so that you can actually tell the separation between nose and faceplate. On the black Overrun figure, that was kind of lost. Together, these figures look great, and I'm really glad that I got both of them. I really love the look of them, and they definitely ooze that G1 feel that kind of been missing, that I personally have kind of been missing for a little while. They both look really good. Now, they're not perfect. The inherent idiosyncrasies of the molds, and I'm not a huge fan of this mold, but it works for these guys. It works very, very well. My biggest problem is with Overrun. As I said in my Overrun review, the paint still feels a little tacky, and this wing doesn't like to stay up. But you know what? Runamuck doesn't suffer from any of those issues. In fact, I think Runamuck is the better of the two figures. But Overrun next to Runamuck makes me realize you have to have both of them. You really, really need to have both of them. If you're going to get one, you really should get the other, because together they just look really cool. And they really do play off one another in the color scheme. I really do appreciate that. And as I said, the orange, white, and gold really works for Runamuck, and the gray, red, and black really works for Overrun. As I said, great figures. Just very nice figures. But the cost is a little high. Now, this guy, since I'm a club member, cost me $40 and a credit card. And this guy, well, he was part of my membership, so. But other than that, you know what? I really don't have any complaints, other than, you know, the problems with this guy. So, should you get him? You know, I was never a fan of these two characters back in the G1 era, but I'm a fan of them now, and these toys really make me a fan of them. So, yeah, I think you should have them in your collection. And I really think FunPub really hit it out of the park with choosing these two.